The sun was sinking low behind the red cliffs when I found her. At first, I thought it was just another shadow among the sagebrush, but then I saw the movement, a hand trembling weakly. She was an Apache woman, young, her dark hair tangled with dust and blood. A broken arrow jutted from her shoulder, and her horse lay dead nearby. I climbed down from my horse and knelt beside her. Her breathing was shallow, her eyes half open, wary even in pain. "Easy," I said softly. "You're safe now." Of course, she didn't believe me. Why would she? My kind had brought nothing but sorrow to hers. Still, she didn't fight when I lifted her. She was light as a feather, yet every step back to my cabin felt heavier than the last. Night fell by the time I laid her on my bed. I cleaned her wound as best I could, though she hissed in pain and whispered words I didn't understand. When I offered her water, she drank greedily, her hands shaking. The storm outside grew fierce, rain drumming on the roof. I sat by the fire, watching her sleep. She looked fierce even in rest. Strong cheekbones, sun-kissed skin, and the kind of spirit you could feel even without words. I wondered what had happened. A raid gone wrong? A betrayal? Or maybe she'd simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time. When I finally dozed off in my chair, it was near midnight. The fire had burned low, and the cabin was quiet except for the rain. Then I woke, and she was on top of me. Her dark eyes stared straight into mine, fierce, unblinking. My hands froze. For a moment I thought she meant to kill me. But then I saw the tears glistening at the corners of her eyes. Her breath was warm against my face as she whispered, her voice trembling, "You saved me. I thought you were gone." I didn't understand, not yet. She touched my chest, feeling my heartbeat, as if to make sure I was real. Then she sat back, still watching me, her expression torn between fear and relief. "What's your name?" I asked quietly. She hesitated, then said in a soft accent, "Naya." That was the moment something shifted inside me. I didn't know her story, or why fate had crossed our paths, but I knew one thing for certain. The woman I'd saved wasn't just a stranger. She was carrying a secret, one that would soon turn my whole world upside down. The morning light spilled through the cracks in the cabin walls, painting golden stripes across the floor. Naya sat quietly by the fire, wrapping her wounded shoulder in a strip of cloth I'd torn from my shirt. She looked stronger now, her eyes clear and watchful. I brewed coffee and handed her a tin cup. She accepted it with a small nod, but didn't drink right away. There was something heavy between us, something unsaid. "You should rest," I told her. "You're safe here." She looked up sharply. "No one is safe," she said. Her English was broken, but her meaning was clear. I pulled up a chair beside her. "Tell me what happened." For a long while she said nothing. Then in a quiet voice she began, "My people, attacked by another band. I ran, my horse died. I was ready to die too. But then you came." I listened, not daring to interrupt. Her eyes softened for a moment, the firelight reflecting in them like tiny suns. "When I woke here," she continued, "I thought spirit world had taken me. You were sleeping, still as stone. I thought you died, saving me." That's when it hit me, why she'd been on top of me when I woke. She'd been checking if I was alive, not fear, not danger, just relief. I smiled faintly. "Guess I'm harder to kill than I look." A small laugh escaped her lips, quick and shy. It was the first time I'd seen her smile. Days passed. I hunted for food, she mended her wounds, and together we found a strange peace. She spoke more each day, telling me about her tribe, her lost sister, and the land she missed. I taught her a few English words, and in return she showed me how to read the wind, how to listen to silence. But as the week came to an end, she grew restless. One evening she stood by the doorway, watching the setting sun. "I must go," she said quietly. The words stung more than I expected. "You don't have to," I replied. "You can stay. You're safe here." She turned, eyes shining. "You gave me life, but I cannot take yours." I frowned. "What do you mean?" She stepped closer, her hand trembling as she touched my cheek. "If my people find me with you, they will call you enemy. You will die for helping me." Her words hung heavy in the air. I wanted to tell her I didn't care, that I'd fight anyone to keep her safe, but I saw the truth in her eyes. The wilderness had rules, and love was the most dangerous one. At dawn, she left. I watched her ride away on the horse I'd saddled for her, her figure fading into the red hills. For days after, the cabin felt empty. But sometimes, when the wind passed through the canyon, I swore I heard her voice, soft, wild, and free. The Apache woman I rescued had left me speechless that night. But she'd also taught me something no words could say. Some souls don't belong to anyone, they belong to the wind.